All right, guys, we are back with my true ride or die, Carter, Silky Mittens, Asper.
Crafty Buckeye is just a fake friend.
Yeah,
I'm the real deal.
he couldn't put up with the heat, so we had to get him out of here.
Get him out of the
Get the
kitchen.
real fire in here. So you
That's
know what
right.
we can do?
Vape Nation?
Woo! All right, we are going to be back here. It is going to be Revolution Death Squad versus Argon 53. Going to be game 2 coming in here, and we're going to have full pick and bans here. No one's losing out on any of them this game. So it is going to be Gangplank and Rengar banned out here for Revolution Death Squad, and the Nautilus Elise take it away for Argon 53.
Woo, they're going through it just like that. They
Yep.
know the real deals are in the house, so they got to get right to business. Fizz, the last ban, coming out. A little bit of a target ban to Zero Invictus, I believe. I think it is within his repertoire. We haven't really seen it from him a lot, but, you know, if they're scared of it, they don't really have a champion that little Benny wants to play into it if it does come up. So they just want to get it out of there, get all the cheese out of the kitchen. We got all the food metaphors coming in hot.
They're lactose intolerant. Gotta get it out of here.
Get it out of there. Gluten's all right, but we're going to get the dairy out of there. Oliver close off. Going to be hovering this Braum. First rotation. Alistar would be another good one. Take that away from Weeblit. I do believe Alistar is Weeblit's most played champion. As we got our boy. Oh, we had the wrong overlay?
Yeah, we didn't even have any cameras. We were in champ loading instead of champ select.
Oh,
Rats.
you guys couldn't even see, but
No.
now you can.
We were sitting there, you know, throwing some sweet flares. Nobody could even see our
That's
gang
right.
signs.
Crafty got a little rattled from our friendly banter.
Yeah, he is the tills right
It's
now.
all right, though. He's a master. He's a
become-
master behind the camera. So big shout out to him for helping us out for this final game for today. It's been a long one. I almost called you Crafty. I'm so sorry. Ponox.
Yeah, exactly.
It's been a long one, but this is the conclusion.
Best.
No one said that.
This is the conclusion.
I said.
Just pretend it didn't happen.
All right.
But I hope it lives up to it. I hope it lives up to the hype that has been today.
But, I mean, you're going to see some similar starts here from both teams, but actually kind of on the flip side here, as Oliver Closeoff is going to pick up the Alistar here, where Weeblit had that last game, and we're going to see the Corkscrew and the Gragas, picked up here. Very good standard starts here. Genghis Khan hovering that Skarner.
Interesting.
Bold pick.
Bold move,
pick.
Cotton. Yeah, for sure.
Something like a Hecarim, I mean, I would like to see that Elderwood, but I mean, it's not something that's strong, I would say. There's a lot more favorable matchups here. But Toast, I mean, he's got a comfort champion when that Rengar is gone, and Gragas, very good pick. So even though they did ban out the Rengar, they didn't really prioritize taking anything away from Toast, which is something you maybe want to do, especially if you're going to target bans towards him. But instead they take the Alistar, going to leave something, a power jungle pick open for Toast, and now he's not really punished for anything at any point here.
Yeah.
But going to have to be careful.
So maybe they're just worried about his Rengar.
Yeah.
Not so much his Gragas. He has played a lot of Gragas as his kind of next go-to.
Yeah.
He actually hasn't... Rengar is his favorite champion, but he actually hasn't played in SKL yet. So that was actually his first game. He played pretty well on it. I was watching over there. There were some plays to be made. Yeah, I was memeing pretty hard.
Yeah.
Greg's going to be picked up here. Caboose, though, might have his hands on Corki once again, which is a little bit worrying, perhaps. He had a huge game on it. Weeblit and Caboose were able to play really well in the bot lane. That Corki was just so fed that it was just really hard to deal with, but that could also be flexed to the mid lane as well. Little Benny, a good player in his own right, kind of just showed that he could play that poke composition in Varus. Corki kind of plays similar-ish, you know, just throwing out lots of damage left and right.
Yeah, and I mean, they did leave themselves with the potential to throw that Corki into any lane they want. They left him with the counter pick there, so they're playing a little bit safe in the pick and ban phase here, but going to actually round out that Malphite for a Nubinator in the top lane there. So going with that hyper tank, really, that's going to be able to scale up and do a lot of damage if they do need him to, as well as, I mean, he's just going to offer a lot of frontline.
Yeah, so this is pretty much telling me you pretty much need like a hyper damage mid lane here. That's what I'm kind of getting. Corki does a lot of damage, but you've got Braum, Gragas, and Malphite. Not a ton of damage in their own rights. Pretty tanky, mostly tank items, except for maybe Gragas going that Runic Echoes early on.
Oh, Aurelia.
Woo, that's
Interesting.
very interesting. So that's going to be a top lane Irelia, unless
Mid lane.
yeah, I don't know. Could be a mid lane. They could flex it because Lulu can swap back and forth. Maybe if it's like the likes of a Zed in the mid lane or something funny like that, they can throw Irelia there.
There are some matchups that can go very well for Aurelia in the mid lane, so depending on maybe what they decide to lock in. Something with lower mobility doesn't do so well, but Jarvan hovered here. I think that'd be a pretty interesting pick. I don't know if that'd be the best one. Something like this Varus going with a very similar comp that they had last time. Little Benny showed a very good game on that Varus, so I wouldn't put that past them to lock it in. Going again with a very similar style poke comp, but again, they kind of rounded out with some other aspects to it, like a lot of front line, a lot of engage if they do need it, as well as a lot of counter engage there too. But so they're going to lock in that Varus, and it looks like that Aurelia is going to be going towards the top side. She should do okay into Malphite. The thing is, they didn't want to pick another AP to go into that because, I mean, again, you're just going to get shut down with the itemization. So they're going to try and force Nubinator to build some armor so Lulu can have a little more free range there, at least in top lane, not get shut down by items immediately. So gonna force the Nubinator to maybe build something like a Sunfire Cape, Frozen Heart, stuff like that to kind of counter the Aurelia. Yeah,
the Aurelia is just gonna be looking to dive the backline all day. Has that built-in tenacity, right? So it's gonna be hard to lock that one down. Might be giving Little Benny a visit in the backline. You know, he was pretty safe that last game, along with Caboose, was able to pretty much have free reign on dealing DPS without much repercussions. But with an Aurelia breathing down your neck, it's going to be a little bit tougher this game. And Hecarim too, I like that pick. It's not super strong in the current meta, not like the top tier pick, but Snowball 8 champion, you know, gets ahead. It's hard to peel a Hecarim. You're charging at your carry, and, you know, ultimate's in there. The Onslaught of Shadows, it's hard to shut down. It's hard to block all that damage coming through. So I'm liking it so far. Interesting, but still strong composition coming from RDS. I don't hate it.
No, yeah, it's definitely something that's a little odd, like off the cuff, but it's something that I think they might play to their own strengths here a little bit. I'm going to have to see how Oliver Close-Off fares in that top lane. I feel like that one might tell which one it is, because if you get a Malphite fed very early on, you're not going to have a fun time. But guys, we are going to be taking a short break, so make sure you get into that Twitch chat, you raise your Swamp Things.
Raise them!
We'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hello everyone and welcome back. We've got game 2 between Revolution Death Squad and Argon 53. On the blue side, it is going to be Revolution Death Squad. In the top lane, Oliver Closeoff going to be playing that Frostbutt Irelia. In the jungle, C9 Genghis Khan bringing out the Hecarim. In the mid lane is going to be Zero Invictus playing Lulu. In the bot lane, rounding it out, is Copyrights with the Zed. And Luke Duke 186 playing Ezreal Alistar.
With Zed. Where's Zed?
Copyrights with the Z.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's Zed's on this
There's
game.
no S.
But you guessed it,
There's a
guys.
Zed.
On the red side is going to be Argon 53. We're going to have Nubinator playing that Malphite. The Rock in the top lane. Toast playing that Grog Daddy in the jungle. Little Benny playing some Varus in the mid lane. And Caboose and Weeblet playing the bot lane with some Corkscrew and some Braum.
A little bit of an invade here from the A53 squad, but
Oh,
they're
but
going to
they
get
see him.
spotted out by Irelia, who is down here just scouting things out for now. Did they actually lane swap? Are they lane swapping here? They might be lane swapping, folks.
Oh, man.
I could be wrong.
This would be some real hype, actually, if you saw like the first lane swap of this split.
Sorry, lane swap as in Oliver Closeoff, come mid, Zero Invictus go top. Sorry, didn't mean to get your hopes up there. They're just posturing that way. Lulu's kind of edging toward the top side of the map. They could just be going for the leash, but Oliver Closeoff hovering around this mid lane. This might be a Varus Irelia matchup, which
I feel like would not fare well for Varus whatsoever. Early on,
depends how aggressive the Irelia plays.
Exactly, yeah. Because if Irelia plays passive at all, Varus is going to have a field day. But if you play very aggressive as an Irelia, you are just going to scare the living hell out of Little Benny in that mid lane. So he's not going to have a fun time whatsoever. And it looks like they are actually going to follow up with that one. It is going to be the mid lane Irelia. And then we're going to have a top lane Lulu that's going to be playing right into this Malphite. So Malphite might have an easier time itemizing, being able to go with some of the team-oriented builds. Maybe go with the banner. I mean, even though he does scale very well with the armor, just for the lane matchup, you might want to actually end up going with some, MR.
Yeah, that's probably how it's gonna go. It's
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. It's not the best build, but I mean, yeah, you can pick up the banner, which allows you to build some MR, but then also build for your team. So yeah, I did definitely agree with you there. That could be something he decides to go for. If you can't go with the armor and can't scale up properly, might as well help your team out a little bit. Go for that early banner, and that might translate into some good early skirmishes as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it looks like Luke Duke actually wanting to play very aggressive on this Alistar here, just really playing very forward, really flexing his muscles here, realizing that, they have the stronger level 2 out of these guys, and they have hit it first, so they're going to have to respect this, definitely. Luke Duke forcing Caboose off of this wave, going to lose out on the experience, and they desperately need to hit that level 2 if they're going to want to try and contest this, and they finally hit it. There is quite the delay between the two teams, but they're actually going to go in for the headbutt Pulverize, going to try and trade back. Copyright's taking a little bit of damage here, but here comes Hecarim into the mid lane.
Ooh, Little Benny taking a lot of damage from Oliver Closeoff. C9 Genghis Khan not going to commit to that one, though. Toast is here. Is he going to flash in? He is going to flash in with the body slam. First blood going over to Little Benny. Is there going to be a follow-up kill here? Little Benny does have flash and ghost if he really wants to chase it.
If he really
wanted to. But he don't want to. But a very good counter gank by Toast. It looks like they weren't on the same page there. Oliver Closeoff going in after Genghis Khan already went in. Then they're kind of like, not on the same page there. One was going in, one was going out, one was up, one was down. And Oliver Closeoff taking a lot of damage. One piercing arrow could end it.
Yeah, and that's not how you want to start out the lane as an Aurelia either way. I mean, giving a kill over to the Varus here is definitely going to help him. He's going to be able to go back at that tier very early on. He's going to be able to just keep continually poking you out again and again and again. So you're going to really have to focus on just farming as this Aurelia, just staying relevant in the game. You're not really going to be able to force your hand in the lane anymore. Unfortunate that that's how it had to end up starting, but I mean, it was a great counter gank there from Toast, able to pick up the kill on the Genghis Khan. They tried a little bit too hard for that one in the mid lane. Yeah,
tried a little too hard there. Hecarim just couldn't do too much there. Sure, he got, that Stampede off there and did decent amount of damage, but they don't really have much follow-up in the short lane, right? That's the thing about having an Irelia. She's really scary, but kind of more so in a long lane where you have a chance to chase your opponent down. In the short lane, it's not far for Little Benny to go for some safety under turret, but he's not going to find safety by the river there as he gets jumped on by Oliver Closeoff.
Forcing him back.
That kind of shows you what that matchup's kind of like without the jungle pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, extended fights is something Aurelia thrives on. You want to be able to really get the slow, you want to get the stun, something like that, and then you want to follow up with a lot of auto attacks because, I mean, especially something like Little Benny, who's on a very immobile carry here. not going to have a fun time into Oliver closeout, especially when he gets some more items. But did get the longsword, did get the corruption potion, so going to be able to chug that, have some sustain in the lane there. But Little Benny, he's going to have that tier now, so going to have a rough time. Taking a turret shot here, actually, Oliver closeout.
Yeah, getting a chunk taken out of him by Toast here. Let's see if Little Benny does ghost. Is he going to have the piercing arrow to be able to pick up the kill? Yes, he is, and that is going to be another kill for him. 2-0-0. And a great heads-up play there by Little Benny, ghosting in there, trying to cruise in there to get in range of that piercing arrow. Toast also making a nice play, and the tower shot taken by Oliver close off a misplay, I think more so by him, but great heads-up play nonetheless by A53.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they recognize that, oh, hey, this Aurelia stuck around. She's playing way too forward, but Toast making his way into the bot lane here.
Yeah, could look for the body slam. Doesn't have flash available, but the Valk forward. Crafty Buckeye's going crazy behind the camera. Luke Duke getting stunned up, and it looks like he is going to flash to safety. And Copyrights and Luke Duke getting the gank there. It's going to cost them a key summoner. Luke Duke not having flash is very important for him. Toast, I think he maybe could like gone in there. I think they didn't think he was still there. They just didn't respect it. They didn't care he was still there. Luke Duke's gonna run in Weeblet here. Let's see if Copyrights gets hits up by the Winter's Bite, but they're gonna turn onto the Alistar. Great choice because he does not have flash, and Copyrights does have heal. The exhaust gonna come out onto Caboose. The flash away from him. This Corky might go down. Are they going to get the stun? The heal being used now. Weeblet going to turn back around, but Heckram's here now. Are they going to go for Weeblet? Weeblet does have flash available if he really wants it, and he doesn't think he's in danger, so he's not going to use it. Good heads-up play by him there, but a really big back and forth there. I'm not sure what the net summary of that fight was, but Numinator's going to go in here, use Unstoppable Force on a Zero Invictus. He's going to try and run away, rolling the cheese towards them. We're going to the mid lane now. Little Benny's taking a little damage from Oliver close off. Zero Invictus did live, had to blow all summoners, barrier, and flash used as Numinator went in. Crafty's got the sticky fingers.
Yeah, I think I speak for all of us when we say skill odds is a a fine resource within the SKF.
He's cut the tape. Cut the tape. Crafty's like he's threatening us. We're getting blackmailed now, so we gotta keep it.
Yeah.
Crafty's the best. Crafty's the best.
Yeah, wow, I love Crafty.
Yeah, he's so good. Wow, did you see that sweater he's wearing tonight?
Looking fine.
Yeah, looking good. Oliver close off. Doing what he can in this mid lane. Still a little bit ahead, actually, in CS. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up by our scoreboard here because Elaine swapped on us.
Yeah.
Zero Invictus is actually quite a bit behind, 20 CS down. But Genghis Khan's going to flash in on Numinator. Do they have enough damage? No flash available. The knockup from the Wild Growth is going to secure the kill there. Genghis Khan getting down. The Chain of Corruption being thrown out by Little Benny. 853 Toast is in hot pursuit, or is he? Not really hot, a little bit more like cold pursuit, as Toast going to be able to help and get this one. The Explosive Cask is readily available. He has flash as well. Genghis Khan is there now, though. Waited way too long. I'm not sure why Toast didn't go in there. Little Benny didn't have mana, I guess, but
that's true. I mean, they were a little low on resources for Little Benny, but I mean, if they would have thrown that out very early on, they could have probably secured.
Got him.
Yeah, they could have secured that. Genghis Khan, maybe a very aggressive flash. Numinator wasn't really going anywhere. He didn't have flash himself, so flashing into that one, trying to get the stampede off. Aggressive. They picked up the kill either way, so I mean that's definitely nice for the Lulu in the top lane. But yeah, I can definitely attest to the scoreboard confusion with this lane swap. I was like,
I keep looking to the.
I was like, Aurelia started Doran's ring. Like I was just so confused. But I mean, whatever. I mean, this Morella Nomicon rush from Aurelia is gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it is definitely gonna be awesome, and take away a lot of healing being done here. Numinator looking to have an impact on the rest of the map. Hasn't really done much. Got killed there. You saw him try to solo out the Lulu in the top lane, but nothing doing. Just a bunch of summoners being blown. So looking to Numinator to use that TP next time it's up to really pressure the rest of the map. Use that great team fighting ultimate and to try and get some of his teammates ahead, I think.
Yeah, I think the scary thing you got to be looking at here going into
just kidding. He's going to try and go for another solo kill. Going to roll the cheese once again towards Zero Victus. Is he going to chase it? The Wild Growth going to be used in retaliation to that one. And no summoners available for either there. So Numinator, instead of waiting for his teleport to make a play elsewhere, he tries to go for the solo once again. It's doing a decent job, at least at putting Lulu out of lane and growing that CS lead, but I feel like Malphite's not really going to be the one to solo carry this game, so I feel like you got to wait and use that in a more team-oriented fashion.
I don't know, man.
Somewhere else on the map.
He's building full AP Malphite. He's going for the blasting one.
Probably Rod.
Rod
You
or
would
Abyssal.
probably assume, yeah, or Abyssal would be a good one as well. But C9 Gamescon is here. He's going to use the Onslaught of Shadows. He's going to push him back into tower range as well. C9 Gamescon, very nice gank there. Just ran straight at him. No tricks, no smoke and mirrors. Just going to run straight at him. Plain and simple. Get that kill. Very nice by him.
Well, I think Numinator, he's playing very, very aggressively. Oh, but Copyrights, he's going to have to use the Arcane Shift to get out of there. Not going to be able to follow that up. Toast, kind of just, you know, there for some moral support.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, Numinator, he's playing a very binary Malphite. I mean, every time you have your ultimate available, you're going to try and get the kill, right? And that's going to, you know, make you very susceptible to these ganks because Malphite, once your ultimate's down, you don't really have a lot of tools left in your arsenal, right? And his flash is down constantly. All he's kind of got left is the teleport, so.
Yeah, not really the smartest to be able to try and use that instead. But Little Benny in a little bit of danger here in the mid lane. Is he going to go down? No, he's not. Actually going to live with a sliver of health. Our boy Crafty's getting the hang of this. And now in the bot lane, we've got a bit of a fight here. A53 Weeblet going in, going to use the Glacial Fissure there. Luke Duke is in a bit of trouble now. The Explosive Cast going to push him back. Caboose gets a kill to his name. Actually going under tower. Copyrights. Caboose is going crazy here. Copyrights gets a kill for that one. Weeblet flashes in. Going to throw out the Winter's Bite. Going to secure that kill. Not sure. We lost sight of Caboose for like a second, and all of a sudden he was under tower, taking a lot of damage. Oliver Closeoff is running around under turret. Numinator is going to actually aggro the turret, and he might be in a little bit of trouble here as Lulu and Irelia are chasing, but they don't know where the rest of the team is. Little Benny still hasn't backed since he was put so low. I guess Toast is in the vicinity. People are going crazy.
Yeah.
They're getting a bit of like cabin fever. They're starting to lose their minds.
Yeah, trying to make some plays all over the map here from both teams. But, I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. This Aurelia, but we do see the unstoppable force going into zero pick is forcing the wild growth out of the team. Toast is going to try and pick up the kill, but the rest of the squad is here. And here comes Caboose. He's going to use the package on the back line there, but they're actually going to pick up Toast. Numinator soon to follow suit, flashing over into the red buff pit, but going to try and aggro the red buff pit in. Here comes the Arcane Shift. Going to pick that up. Caboose still trying to go a little hard. He doesn't have any tools left in his arsenal to get out of this. He's going to just try and get the kill for himself, forcing the flash out of both teams here. He's going to end up going down very soon here.
Oliver Closeoff bound to pick this one up, or Copyrights. Going to Copyrights, not a bad thing at all. 3-1-0 on that Ezreal. 3-1-0 on C9 Genghis Khan's Hecarim as well. Things are starting to fall into place here for this Revolution Death Squad team. I was going to say Revolution Death Squad squad.
Wow.
But yeah, 6-5, picking up a couple kills for themselves. Pretty nice, you know, pretty worth to get ahead on that trade.
Yeah, and like, I mean, that's 3 kills onto an Ezreal. That's going to scale very, very well in the later parts of the game. You're going to have 3 assists onto an Aurelia, who is already seemingly 1v1ing this mid lane Varus, and CSing very well considering you're melee into a ranged matchup. 74-70 CS for Oliver Closeoff. So, I mean, he's doing a great job considering how that game, how it seemed to be starting off. I mean, he kind of got picked on a little bit there from Toast. The counter gank's not working out so well. So, all things considered, Oliver Closeoff doing a very good job. Once he finishes up that Triforce, definitely going to be a force to reckon with here. So they're going to have to be very careful how they kind of play out this mid game here, because the double Triforce, or not Triforce, the double Sheen items coming out of this side of Revolution Death Squad are going to be huge. I mean, once you get the slows from the Iceborne Gauntlet onto the Ezreal, followed up by all the diving and damage you're going to have from this team with the Hecarim and the Aurelia, that's going to be a very scary extended team fight that they're going to have on their hands. So they have to be very careful how they play that off. They have to really commit, or they just have to, you know, back off of any fight. If they don't have 100% commitment from the team of Argon 53, they're going to have a very bad time. They can't play this 50-50 in and out kind of stuff. Which we saw they ended up getting punished for. Yeah,
that's what I like so much about this RDS team composition this time around. They've got an express ticket right to the back line. Little Benny's not going to be so safe. We kind of highlighted that in the early game and before the game even started. Little Benny going to be pressured as I say that, and he's going to be taken closer to Oliver Closeoff by Genghis Khan. Hecarim, very nice gank. Once again, the Onslaught of Shadows used. And that's another kill, and see, he's very immobile when he doesn't have summoners up. He's just a sitting duck.
Exactly, and he's going to get picked off again and again and again, but we're actually going to see that an objective here picked up on the backside of that one, actually, for Revolution Death Squad. So picking up more than just the kill is going to be huge. Luke Duke just trying to play, bodyguard here. He's playing the bouncer role for the Dragon.
Bumper cars there.
Bumper cars with the Dragon. So they're going to try and pick this one up for themselves, get themselves some more objectives, a little more on the scoreboard here, which is going to be huge for them there. They actually do have the lead right now. 23,000 gold to 20,000, 8-5 in kills, and they actually might pick out Weeblet here.
I think Weeblet's going to go down here. He doesn't have flash available. He's going to use his ultimate. Is anyone going to try and save him? Caboose can't get close enough to the wall for Weeblet to jump to him. That would have been suicide for Caboose, so smart by him not to go anywhere near that fight. Weeblet, that's just a life of support, kind of caught out, trying to get some vision, but you can't really be there. You know they're doing Dragon. You know you can't contest. You don't need to be that close to the fight. Very nice play by Luke Duke, knowing very well what he could do. Zero Invictus getting taken a little bit low.
Yeah, but I mean, on the split end of that, Little Benny also got chunked out quite a bit, and he's like one of their main forms of wave clear at this point right now. Now that the Caboose is in the bot lane, they know that he's not there, so forcing Little Benny out of lane probably going to be one of their main objectives, because beyond that, they're lacking a bit in the wave clear department. But Numinator, he's going in. He's
going in with the unstoppable force. Little Benny going to try and throw it as much damage as he can. The flash in by Toast, he's not going to get him originally. Copyrights, is he going to go down? The exhaust used on Numinator? Yes, it is going to be Little Benny picking up that kill. But on the backside, Oliver Closeoff jumping into the fight. Numinator going to be the next victim. Weeblet jumps to the rescue, though, and the stun going to be procced onto Oliver Closeoff. Do they have enough damage to follow it up? I do not think they do, but C9 Genghis Khan joins the fight. He's going to get close enough to ult. He's going to get in there. Oliver Closeoff is just barely going to live. Another kill going over to Genghis Khan as well. Weeblet forced to flash now, and that is a 3-for-1 trade in the mid lane fight. And very good once again by Revolution Death Squad, playing to their advantage and snowballing their lead even further. And look at the kills that are starting to go on Oliver Closeoff. Just recently he was 0-1-3, now 4-1-4 Pawnox. This is looking scary.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, you can't play this 50-50 half in, half out thing that Argon 53 seems to be doing. Numinator, he's wanting the engages. He's trying to pick the fights, but, I mean, if he gets the unstoppable force just onto the Alistar, maybe you don't want to take that fight. Maybe you got to back off of that one, but they kept trying to force it. It seemed like some of the members of the team were just trying to, maybe get one thing and then back off there, but Toast and Numinator at least tried to stick around maybe a little bit longer, and that kind of forced Weeblet to kind of try and, I guess I'll, hop in this fight. If you guys are going to take it, I'll be there. But.
Yeah, it seems like they're just, settling for, the little scraps that they seem to be able to, they think they can take. Numinator not catching the best of ultimates there, and then they're like, oh, well, we've already gone in. We already, kind of semi-committed, so we better go. And then it just cost them, so they kind of, I don't want to swear, but half-assing it kind of right now.
Whoa,
they're not fully
toxic.
Talking about
reporting.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, watch it.
9 times report. Oh, coming from crafty Buckeye.
Yeah,
got potty mouth.
Yeah, we
resident
got another
potty
name
mouth
around here.
Yeah, exactly. And
but they are going to be forcing this now with the Rift Herald buff onto the mid lane here. But we're going to see the ultimate coming out of Eris. Zero Invictus taking a lot of damage here.
Yeah, Genghis Khan going to take tower aggro as well. Oliver Closeoff is playing the role of frontline right now. Caboose taking the package all the way downtown, but he's going to pay for it with his life. Unstoppable, but a great ultimate by Numinator. Is he going to get any kills off of this? They're going to get one. Copyrights does go down. Luke Duke is in harm's way now. Just a 1-for-1 so far after Caboose. Pretty much suicides there. And that was a great ultimate by Numinator. Unfortunately, they weren't able to follow up with any meaningful damage and not able to take any more members below critical, I guess, below 0 HP. But they're sticking around this mid lane, maybe looking for more. I'm not sure they have the resources, the minions to take this one down. Ooh, a lot of commotion there for not a lot of results. Just kind of a stalemate.
Yeah, I mean, Caboose, he just committed way too hard to that fight. I mean, packaged all the way into the backline.
Imagine if he waited till after the Malphite ult.
The thing is,
that would have been so good.
It would have been. But the thing is this team from Revolution Death Squad is they're like, oh, we're gonna get to the backline. But Caboose is like, no, don't worry about it, guys. I got it for you. He's gonna deliver himself to the front line.
Just hold on. Just hold on to your Hecarim ulti. I'm coming.
Yeah,
I'm coming to you, baby.
Yeah, don't blow your cooldowns on my account.
I don't want to bother you.
I got you, fam.
Yeah, he's got social anxiety, so he doesn't want to be a bother. He's being the nice guy.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw this in last game too. Even though Caboose did have a very impressive scoreline, he had a great game on the Corki. I think it resulted in a lot of them already being ahead when he tried to take those fights that he did. Because we saw in that one Dragon skirmish there that he did the exact same thing he just did there. Kind of packaged in solo, man.
Except he probably picked up 3 or 4 kills.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just because he was very far ahead, had a lot of damage to back it up. This time, not so much. His lane opponents definitely got the advantage on him here. And And now we definitely see that being punished, that play style of just diving into the team. So Corki not working out so well for them this time around. I definitely understand the pick as far as the the drafting phase goes, because it's a great flex, everything like that. But as far as for the style that they maybe want to play with these team fights, Corki maybe not the best, but
Ooh, they're going in on a Caboose here, but they're just going to Valk away from danger. But Genghis Khan going to take a visit to the back line. Little Benny just ults him. Not much damage going on to the Hecarim for now. Little Benny getting a little dangerously close to the front line here. If Luke Duke like flashed Pauled in, I think that would spell the end for Little Benny, but not going to go down, not going to cost him anything just yet. A lot of poke damage coming out from that Varus, doing quite a bit in this mid game. That's when he really hits his stride. He's got the Yumu, he's got the tier stacking up. Would like to see that finish man immune, so it stacks a little bit faster, but that's okay. He's going to hold on to that for now. I'm sure he'll upgrade that as soon as he has the cash flow for it, but for now, Yumu's offers him a little bit more mobility that he didn't have before.
Yeah. We do see a double Bomby Cinder coming out here for the side of Argon 53 as well. I'm really going to be trying to maybe push the waves out just with these tanks, get them doing a lot of damage, just kind of from being there, more or less. It's kind of a little too late, almost, maybe I'd say, for some of those. Obviously, with Toast, you want to be going that. But with the first item, Abyssal Scepter, it seems like Nubinator is regretting his choices now of going with that item. Maybe would have preferred to go with a different form, maybe build for the lane, and he could have built something that would have helped that wave control that Argon 53 so much likes to have. I mean, they like those side lanes to be pushing in their favor all the time, but now they sacrificed going for the Abyssal Scepter instead of going with something like a ZZ Rod or a banner, exactly.
or even just armor, because the rest of the team is physical damage. So even if he wanted to sacrifice laning phase, he could have just went for that armor item. I feel like now it's kind of too little, too late. He doesn't have any armor on him right now. It's really hurting when you're getting to these team fights with Irelia, who pretty much 1v3ing there with the help of Luke Duke slightly.
So it's like a 2v3.
It's almost like a 2v3. And he's got the Rage Blade also worth noting on that Irelia. So kind of going the full YOLO, full damage version of this Irelia. Not really any tank sass to her, but she seems to be holding up pretty well.
Yeah, and the scary thing is like if they ever decide to put her into a solo lane by herself, she's definitely going to be able to 1v1 anyone that's going to try and fight her. So that's a scenario that I don't think Argon is really prepared for quite yet. Maybe eventually, once this Malphite starts getting a couple more items to his name there, has some armor built up, stuff like that. Maybe a Frozen Heart in the future to slow down that attack speed. But right now, they don't really have an answer for it. So that's going to be a tough call if they ever decide to throw her there. But right now, she's just such a great team fighter. Just sitting 5-1 and 4, great scoreline for her as well. So, I mean, they don't want to get rid of her quite yet. But, I mean, if they ever decided to play the long con, play the side lanes, that's a scary, scary scenario.
Exactly, yeah. Like, who are they going to throw at that? And then it'll be up to RDS to play, the numbers game. If they send 2 after Oliver close off, they got the numbers advantage elsewhere. They got to push it. They got to, pressure maybe the Baron, or pressure some of the other side lanes. Pressure top lane if they send their bot lane. Ooh, the explosive cast, being used. Now let's see if Nubinator wants to engage on this. Blue also has it all. They're only going to catch Zero Invictus, but it is enough. He's going to go down right away. Genghis Khan diving under the tower as well, and he's going to go down 2 for 0 so far. The QSS being used by copyrights. The exhaust on him now. He's going to be going down right away, and that's going to be another kill going over to Toast. And they're just chasing down the last 2 members. This is absolutely nightmarish for Revolution Death Squad. Not something they want to do. They should have cut their losses, Ponox. As soon as they lost that first one, they should have got out of dodge, but they go further and they lose even more, and it might be Baron.
Exactly. They have to pick very advantageous fights. They can't force it too much because their composition, while it excels a lot right now, it's so easily punished because they're all pretty damn squishy. I mean, there's not a big tank line or anything like that, and now they're just trying to force them off of this Baron. But if they decide to just peel off the Baron and just kill them, I mean, that's going to work just as fine. They are actually going to try and go for that route. Now, Oliver close off going to fall down to Toast there at the very end. Toast almost actually ended up going down, but Luke Duke now running for his life. He's going to actually, the ultimate's going to fall off, so he's got a very, very squishy Alistar at this point, and Caboose is going to pick that one up on the tail end, so that's going to be 5 kills.
I think that's still semi-worth compared to what could have happened if they just let that Baron go through. Then that's a lot of sieging power. You got Corki and Varus. That is not going to be fun sitting under there having to deal with the Baron-empowered minions as well as those 2 poking at your face. And then you've got a good front line and Malphite and Gragas also throwing their damage in there too. So I actually think that's worth all things considering. After you lose 3 for free, then giving up the 2 instead of Baron. I think that's a good idea.
Because the team comp that they seem to be favoring a lot is these tower pushing with the double 80 carry. So if you give that a Baron buff into something that has a lot of melee, like with the Aurelia, the Hecarim, stuff like that, they're not going to be able to really contest those waves that are going to be crashing into their towers again and again and again. So it's a tough call for them at this point. Giving up the Baron, or like sacrificing their lives to stop the Baron, I'd say exactly like you said, probably more worth. It's two bad decisions. I mean, you're going to be giving up gold either way. Might as well also sacrifice for the long con.
Ooh, the Glacial Fissure being used here, the package as well, not really hitting anyone. Nothing substantial coming from all those cooldowns being used. Gamescom getting poked down a little bit low, but this Numinator who's going to go in, and a lot of people being taken low. It is going to be Lulu going down on top of Luke as well, going down, flashing out. I believe was Genghis Khan. A lot of damage. Oliver Klozov now going to join the fight, going to try and chunk Little Benny as best he can. I don't know if he wants to stick around though. The return damage might be a little too great for him to handle. So that is going to be 2 for 0 for now. Great engage, great heads up play by A53. Even after they miss a lot of big cooldowns, Numinator able to get one of the squishy members in Zero Invictus is Lulu, and then Luke Duke falling after that. So a little bit sloppy positioning there, Revolution Death Squad.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely had the advantage coming into that one there, but they just can't seem to translate it into much right now at this point. It seems like the item-dependent monsters that they might have here, now that this, you see Numinator, he's picked himself up the Sunfire Cape, finished that one. He's got a little bit of tenacity with the Merc Treads, so that might spell a little bit of trouble, as well as we did see that Oliver Klozov, he wasn't really at the start of that fight at all. He kind of just came in to try and flank at the end there, just used his ultimate to chunk people out, and then they end up, run away from that one.
Yeah, maybe the reason they had just forced it, especially Weeb, who kind of threw his Glacial Fissure out just kind of willy-nilly, and then the package in, they literally just saw the teleport be used bot lane. Oliver Klozov went to defend the tier 1 just against a wave of minions. So I think they knew that they had the numbers in mind. That's why they pushed it. That's probably why the fight turned out the way it did, even after they missed so much. They knew it was a 5v4. Oliver Klozov had to hustle his butt all the way up to that fight. And was just barely there at the end. Ooh, Copyrights caught a little bit of a tough spot, but he's able to arcane shift out of there. So that was a good heads-up play by A53.
Yeah, exactly, and now they might actually get a little more off of this, as the Dragon is going to be spawning in 10 seconds here. They're going to just try and get their vision around there. They're going to try and pick up this tier 1, actually, and then, maybe just pick up the Dragon as a consolation prize. After that, Oliver Klozov going to get stunned up. Explosive Cast going to be coming out here, actually. He's going to have to be very, very careful getting chunked up very low, and he's going to fall to Weeblet. Not exactly the one you want to get the gold onto, but still, I mean, picking up that key member of the team is going to be enough that you're at least going to have the initial pressure around this drag.
Yeah, very slow reacting to the movement by A53. You got to know they're going to that side of the map. You got to know that Dragon is going to be high contention point in the coming seconds. So you got to know that they're in that part of the map. You have no vision, and they see you just sitting there alone under the tier 1 tower. They're going to go for you all day long, 24/7, 7 days a week. They're going to go for that. And it's going to cost them Dragon as well. This is starting to stack up, or it's not really starting to stack up. 1 Dragon now, but that could mean a couple more in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, getting that kind of in your favor right now is going to be slowing down RDS's, what they want, I guess, is they wanted that 5 Dragons. They had that going for them initially, so that would have been a great win condition. But now that's definitely going to be delayed quite a bit here, just by that 3rd Dragon being shut down and taken by A53. So great on them to recognize that, hey, we can't give them this. We have to slow down this game a little bit here, because the tempo wasn't really in their favor, and now it's slowly, as you can see, they're kind of grabbing every little straw that they can, and it's working out for them. I mean, taking these small skirmishes, recognizing when Oliver Klozov is with the team, when he's not with the team, when he's kind of caught out, when he's a little overextended. They're taking advantage of all these small little points, and they're slowly making up for that early game that they got really punished.
Yeah, you start taking nickels and you're taking dimes. Eventually you got $1, and right now that's A53. It's all even up, folks. We got 45.7 thousand gold to 45.8. This is about as even as you can get. 15 to 13 are the kills. Towers pretty much even. Dragons as well. This is going to be a barn burner. Wow. And what a way to end the night.
Toast, he's going to make some plays. I see it.
He's going to make some plays. He's going to dive the top lane turret. Genghis Khan is going to ult in, but he's going to get blown back by the explosive cast.
Nope.
No, he's actually getting finished up by that. It was just like
he ulted out and then came back.
Yeah, it was just like he's zipping and dipping and bopping, and there you go. Oliver Klozov is now going to try and take this tower, and Nubinator's just going to be slapping him. It's a wet noodle fight, but he doesn't have ultimate to get away. He does have flash, but little Benny is here. He's going to ult onto the Irelia, who's going to flash away, but it might be all for naught. The cheese wheel and the piercing arrow going to follow that one up, and that's a kill for little Benny. And now the tier 2 is going to be taken most likely, unless they can contest this. It is a 3v3. Are they going to look for it? Luke Duke's going to go in. Copyright's going to stand at the back, doing it as much as he can. The wild growth being used on the Alistar. Our Captain was going crazy. Crafty lost his mind. We still got the 3v3. And the flash in by Toast. The flash away by Zero Invictus. Is he going to go down? Luke Duke flashes away too. Everyone's wasting their flash. Anyone got any flashes left? Genghis Khan, get in there. Little Benny's got flash. Caboose got flash too. Where are you guys? Come on. That is actually a kill on the Weeblet after all is said and done.
And he had his flash!
And he had his flash! Come on! Damn. God, you gotta make use out of every single flash.
You just gotta play it like an ARAM. You just type in everyone flash.
Okay, everyone flash in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, XD.
Lol.
Lol.
And then there's the one guy that flashes early, and everyone panics and flashes at that point. But we are gonna see the teleport actually coming in here from Oliver Close off. Explosive cast used a little preemptively from Toast there. Gonna try and force off Genghis Khan.
This could mean Baron here. They know this is happening.
Everyone's backing. I mean, Caboose is gonna be able to pick up the package though and rush right back down. Everyone's stuck around. So having that package is gonna be huge for trying to contest this. But they gotta be careful.
It's gonna be a 4v5 as well because Weeblet is still down, so they very well know this. They're just gonna push out Nubinator. They don't want Baron in the end. Very smart choice. I don't think they need to rush it. Weeblet was on his way there, so if things didn't go well, a good package and a good ult by Nubinator, it could have been a total ace and a complete disaster for RDS. So I like that, just to peel off.
We're going to see a short pause here. I'm assuming for some kind of connectivity issues. I mean, that's usually the standard stuff here. But Caboose actually ended up using the package there very early on, right in the middle of the lane. I mean, he maybe just thought, oh, normal Valk
is lagging.
Yeah, I lagged on LAN. I don't know.
Caboose did DC here, so we'll get this thing figured out. But for the meantime,
there's a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to talk about.
The gold has finally swung back in the favor of Argon 53. So now we're going to see Revolution Death Squad trying to get back into this game. I mean, it's a very close matchup still. I mean, it's only like a couple hundred gold difference.
Yep.
And I mean, there's still a lot of gold on the map for Argon 53. They're down a tower. They're down dragons. So there's a lot for them to still take. So they have to be very, very careful here that they're not going to be giving up too much. Oliver Klozoff has to just make sure that, because he seems to be the main catalyst for a lot of these fights. So if he's caught out like in the bot lane, like if he's using that teleport, he's got to save that for the most part, because if he's going to try and push side lanes, he has to walk down there and teleport back to the team. He can't teleport down there because we've seen that Argon 53 is very good at recognizing these and punishing it.
Yeah, you got to know Weeblet's going to call that. He's a very smart player. He's their shot caller on the side of A53. He's going to call that, 10 times out of 10. And it's been working out for them. I think I very much agree with you. This Irelia is the catalyst along with C9 Genghis Khan. If he can get to the back line, those two are like the Bash Bros right now. They got to get in there and just cause a ruckus amongst the damage dealers. Once you take out Little Benny, once you take Caboose out of the fight, what is left? You got Gragas, who's pretty much full tank, and the same with Nubinator. After he blows his ultimate, he's pretty much useless. He's just throwing around rocks, but they're more like pebbles, right?
Yeah.
And so once you get Caboose and Little Benny, this game gets a lot harder for A53. And you look at these builds as well, Ponox, before I give it over back to you. They don't have a single defensive item, so it's like, how hard is it to lock these guys down? Well, it's been pretty hard in the last couple minutes.
I mean, yeah, and speaking of itemization, we see that Luke Duke himself has actually picked up a Iceborne Gauntlet. I mean, there's probably some more beneficial items that he could have gone with rather than stacking those two Iceborne Gauntlets on top of each other. You could have gone with maybe like a Frozen Heart. You probably don't even want that. You maybe want just something that's going to help out the team.
Well, okay, so if you want the slow, why not go like Righteous Glory? You get the speed up as well,
or even
and then
like
once
Randuin's.
Randuin's, exactly. But Righteous Glory would have been perfect because you get the speed up as well for the initiate. You get to speed up your Hakram, who benefits greatly from movement speed.
Yeah,
that would have been a perfect item. Looking at it, and you get some health. You don't get armor, I don't think. It's just health.
Yeah, it's more or less
Righteous
a pure
Glory
health item. Yeah.
But then once you get there, you get the slow anyways. And if you want the slow from Iceborne, just go for Righteous Glory. Randuin's would have been a nice one as well. The only crit really coming from Caboose, so it would have been an okay item though.
Yeah, and I mean, taking a look on the flip side here, Argon 53's itemization, we see that there was the finally the ZZ Rod and the Banner of Command picked up.
Yeah.
So definitely delayed. I would have liked to see those a lot earlier instead of maybe the Abyssal Scepter, but finally it picked it up. So we're going to see what Argon 53 is kind of put their staple on as far as what we see in SKL is their wave control. That's something that they focus on a lot in all of their games. So finally having that is going to be huge, and now they're going to be able to kind of force that Baron when they want to rather than when they can, because in the past they had to wait for their side lanes, blah blah blah, they had to go send someone down, whereas before they can actually start putting people or start putting super or like banner minions or ZZ Route portals where they need to, so they can kind of time it out and figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, as we look at the gold here, it is pretty close. You know,
Yeah.
there's no huge blowouts. I guess a little bit in favor in the top lane. Numinator's got the advantage over Zero Invictus, and then in the bot lane as well, you know, Copyright has the advantage over Caboose, Weeblet over Luke Duke. This thing is really close. Gold really doesn't tell a story right now. It's just, you know, I feel like these next couple team fights are really going to decide how the rest of this one goes. It could go the distance, Monox. I'm really excited. This one could be the dream, the 70-minute late game, the one of legend that we always talk about.
Absolutely. I mean, it's going to be whether or not they can have the coordination, and it's going to be whether or not it's going to be how these teams allocate their resources, because right now lots of these players are huge resources on the map. Oliver Closeoff is going to be great for split pushing, but they can't sacrifice him enough that they get rid of it, because he's also huge in the team fights. So they have to pick and choose what they're going to be doing with their players and how they allocate them. Genghis Khan, he's getting caught out a little bit.
Yeah, a couple some key cooldowns used there, the explosive cast used as well as the Onslaught of Shadows. So they're going to trade 1 for 1. The junglers both not having their ultimates available now. It's going to make the next team fight pretty interesting, I think. The advantage does go to A53 as Numinator goes in. Zero Invictus can use Wild Growth on himself. Genghis Khan is going to be the first one to go down. Oliver Closeoff finds himself 1v5 in the back line. Luke Duke goes in. His ultimate's going to run out. Zero Invictus gets caught up. He is slowed, and he's going to go down as well. Zanya is just prolonging the inevitable. A53 is tanking the turret happily for his team. Luke Duke going to go down a little Benny eventually. This has so far been a 4 for 1. A very clean fight from A53. Numinator, can you smell what the Rock is cooking, Ponox?
Copyrights, he might go down in the end here. He's going to get slowed up by Little Benny. The Ghost is going to be popped here. Going to trade that back, and they are going to pick that up in the end. So that is going to be an ace on the side of Argon 53. Like we were saying, though, it's just how these next couple fights go, and it is so far going in the favor of Argon 53. I think it has a lot to do with the itemization here that we see from these teams. Just they're going for this team comp that can dive into the backline, but they're so squishy once they get there. They don't have a lot of time to really deal anything. So just with the huge front line that they developed here with the Braum, with the Malphite and the Gragas, itemizing correctly for the Aurelia, I mean, she's going to dive in the backline and just get burned. So she doesn't have a lot of options. And I mean, she could have gone with this defensive item a little bit earlier on after the Triforce maybe instead of the Ginzus, but she was very, very far ahead, so just kind of assumed, oh, hey, I can
build whatever.
Yeah, I can build whatever I want. And she's getting punished for it now.
Yeah, it's not only like the wrong itemization, it's just the wrong itemization for the playstyle they're going for.
Yeah.
Rage Blade on Aurelia, not a bad item, but in a split push scenario.
Yeah.
So far, Oliver Closeoff has not left the safety of his team. He's been here the whole time, you know, and you're not going to make use of that Rage Blade very often. The team fights aren't very extended, so you're not able to make use of, you know, stacking that up and getting the full damage from that item. So I agree with you. The Rage Blade, questionable pick here for the kind of playstyle that Oliver Closeoff has been going for. He hasn't been leaving his team. He hasn't been split pushing. He hasn't really been a threat with his teleport. And it's just been showing in these last couple fights. Numinator's been huge.
We sit here and we talk about Righteous Glory, and here we go. Malphite finally picked himself up one. So instead of the Alistar, which we would have liked to pick that up, on the flip side, they're really wanting this engage now. They Argon 53 is recognizing that they have the lead now. That fight alone threw a huge swing into it, and now we're going to see around a 5,000 gold lead for Argon 53. And we also see a Death's Dance picked up for Little Benny, the 8, 2, and 10 Varus. So he's going to be pumping on a lot of damage here, and he's going to want to, he's just going for raw stats because he sees that, oh hey, there's not a lot of defensive stats on this side of the team here. I mean, and he's gonna have the armor penetration that he's gonna need between the Yomus and the Last Whisper, so he has the opportunity to go with kind of whatever item he wants at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pick your own adventure.
Exactly.
Kind of style.
But Aurelia, she did go with the Dead Man's Plate, so that's going to be huge for her.
Yep.
So maybe help her actually, nuke one of these carries in the backline. Fingers crossed, at least. Numinator doing whatever he can, though, to try and split push. Actually use the Righteous Glory there. very
Very peculiar.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win in this 1v1. They might actually go for it. Genghis Khan trying to go for that one. Balukdu going to get caught out here. The teleport going to be coming in from Malphite. Genghis Khan's not here. He's not going to have teleport to be able to get to this fight. Copyright's going to go down. This might be it, Ponox. I'm suspecting he will be. Oliver close off the next target of A53. Luke Duke trying to be the savior. Is he going to be able to save him? Double kill so far for Little Benny. Oliver close off going to get knocked back in. Caboose going to take that one. Genghis Khan is late to the fight. He's not going to be able to get a kill. He eventually is. Only on to one member though. Zero and Vic just wasting Flash. Not really a waste. Saved his life, but a triple kill nonetheless to Little Benny. I believe this is GG. We've got 40-second death timers on half of our Revolution Death Squad. 30-second death timers on the rest. Zero and Vic is not going to be able to hold this up for much longer. Numinator going around the back door. Front door wasn't open, so he's going to check the back, and he's going to try and slow Zero and Vic's for us, his team, and it's going to be the ace. Caboose is going to be able to get that one. 27-15 are the kills. 36 minutes in this one. Ponox, game 2, is going to go to Argon 53.
So again, we see Caboose throwing out an impressive scoreline, finishing out 8-3-12, even though he had some mid-game missteps there.
Yeah.
But I mean, the true carry threat I feel like in that game was Little Benny, 11-2-11 on this Varus. These poke comps that Argon 53 are kind of throwing out again and again, no team's really got an answer for it.
No.
And they've showed that they really excel in it. They do kind of the same recipe over and over and over again. We see tanky top laner or somebody that can really counter their lane and just stay very well matched. And then we see some kind of threat in the jungle early on there. Toast picked Rengar last game. A little bit different than what they usually go with, but the Gragas, and then poke mid laner, poke AD carry, and then a tank support. Whether it's Alistar or Braum, Weeb's got a lot of options in his arsenal there, so he can kind of go with whatever he wants. But it's working out very, very well for them, and they itemize very correctly. A little bit of missteps in the early game there, going with the Abyssal Scepter early on. Could have gone a little bit differently. Probably could have accelerated that lead.
Yep, I agree.
But I mean, all in all, they know kind of what they're good at, and they're working with it.
Well, I think the question is, are we going to see this iteration of Argon 53 going into the future, right?
I hope so.
Because we've seen a couple things, Captain Canuck getting taken off the roster, some, stuff going on there, and then they bring in a new guy. They move Numinator up to the top lane. They bring in Dark Creations, who's had a different champion pool. It's been Katarina and Yasuo, I believe, pretty much exclusively from what we've seen of him. And then last week, a couple subs. We had... I believe Argold. He changed his name. Funny.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
One of the subs from Argon 53 changed his name just specifically to mess the casters up. You can't fool us. Come on, I got
We're
it.
The best.
But then you've got Little Benny. You've got Little Benny coming in here. You've got Little Benny coming in here, and how often are we going to see him? Pretty good player, playing Varus 2 times in a row here, and played very well. And yeah, you can't knock that guy. But how often are we going to see this version of Argon 53?
Yeah, I mean, they did have a rocky start at the beginning of the season, but if they can kind of keep up this pace and this momentum that they seem to be building up here, I feel like they're definitely going to be a contender for those top seeds that we're going to be looking for going into the later part of the season here. But it looks like, are you trying to play us off here, Crafty? I don't know what's going on. But but again, looking at Revolution Death Squad, though, they definitely put up a pretty good fight in those games. I mean, we saw them, Of course. But Revolution Death Squad, again, they put up a good fight. They picked some little bit of different picks. I mean, they had Oliver Klozov coming in as a sub in this game. Yep. Not necessarily his main role at top lane. So
kind of the jack of all trades. He's played a lot of different roles,
And I mean, we thought he was going top this game, but surprise, he's actually going mid lane Aurelia. And his early game was great. I mean, even though he's playing into something like a Varus where you can get punished, and early on he was getting punished just with the counter ganks from Toast from when... Genghis Khan tried to go in there.
Yep.
And he was kind of down a kill there, a little bit on the back foot, but he farmed very, very well, stuck with it, and then started to actually be able to 1v1 his lane opponent there. Worked out very well for him, but all in all, Little Benny played a very, very smart game. 11-2-11. Player of the game, I think I got to give him.
Big bang boom, you got to get the MVP. I think of the whole series too, just kind of not like that huge playmaker, but he's always where he's needed. He plays super safe, knows when he can engage with his ultimates, with the chain of corruption there, and when he has to fall back.
I mean, last game we even saw like a flash chain of corruption onto 4 people, and that was a huge, like, that won them the fight.
Yeah, exactly. So I think he's just been that rock in the series. So definitely props to him, but props to the whole Argon 53 squad as well. And RDS played a great series as well. Got to congratulate both teams on a successful and very gratifying to cast. It was very fun. It was very fun to be here, and great we could have you along, Ponox, as well, for joining us, giving us a little bit of break in the second series.
Yeah, I'm glad I could kind of come around for this adventure. But I think that is actually going to wrap it up for us here tonight at SKL. Gotta give some shout outs to some of the guys here. We gotta give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Mana Bar. It is gonna be a local esports bar opening up here in Saskatoon, tentatively in the spring/early summer. So keep your eyes peeled. Check out their Facebook page. They always have a lot of great content pumping out of there constantly. So if you like some activity, you can check them out, as well as I'm going to be hyped to go there. I don't know about you.
Absolutely.
I'm probably going to live there.
Yeah, all the SKL admins probably check it out as soon as it's open.
Yeah.
Maybe even before. Who knows? We'll try and sneak in, get that early access. We'll slip in there. But we've also got another sponsor as well. As you guys may have noticed throughout our stream and our website, all the beautiful things we've always been told about how nice everything looks, and that's largely in part to one of our sponsors, Widemouth Media. They create all the online and web design content that you see, all the overlays for our stream, and some of the logos for the teams even. They create that as well. For all your content creation needs, definitely check them out. All the links for our sponsors, as always, on our website, skleague.ca. Make sure you follow us on Twitter as well. Make sure you follow
us personally,
our SK League Twitters, as well as our personal Twitters just below us here. I can't see myself. Somewhere down here has our Twitters. Follow us on there. Make sure you like us on Facebook as well for all the updates. And speaking of updates, Ponox, I think we've got a little something coming up that you can win some money and play a little League of Legends. Is that true?
It is true.
Wow.
You heard right from Silky Mittens right beside me 20 seconds ago.
Right from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Right from the horse's mouth. We are going to be having an ARAM tournament that is going to be kicking off. It is going to be $25 per team, so that is $5 per person. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to try and see if we can get some of those games casted. Big Booty Bodie, I think he's boding well towards that, if I do say so myself. But the dates are... dates April. Yeah, we'll figure it out. It's gonna be. You can find all the dates and all the information on our Facebook page, as well as probably on our website very, very soon once we make an official announcement there. But we're gonna try and get a link to something like that. But gotta give some shout outs to next week, where we're gonna be having week 5 kicking off with Lunatic Peace and Argon 53. Gonna be starting up. That is gonna be Monday, April 4th at 7 p.m.
7 p.m., same time, same place.
Yeah.
As always, I've been Silky Mittens. A big shout out as well. Sorry, before we got so many shout outs. So we want to give a big shout out to our man behind the camera, usually Skill Oz. He's currently not here. He's feeling a little under the weather this week, but he was a trooper, helped us out when we needed it, and really shows, I think, when he's not here, just the kind of like disarray that we're in. We really need him. And no shout out to Crafty Buckeye, because screw that guy.
We love Crafty.
What a troll.
We love Crafty.
Get out of here. Okay, I've been Silky Mittens. This has been Ponox. And thank you for coming. We'll see you on Monday. Vape Nation. Represent.
Butts.